Yapapa. Don't know what to do. On this podcast, we've covered so much manga material and just... No, wait, hold on. Let me start over. Hold on. Yapapa. Don't know what to do. You know, the interesting thing about covering anime is that there's so many different directions you can take it. And it's fun to explore the, like, what ifs, the little intricate little details of what changes here and there as you check out different aspects of it here on, Don't Know What to Do, your favorite podcast hosted by me, Elena. And you know what? Hold on. Let me go back to that first one. On here, Don't Know What to Do, hosted by me, Hedgie, and whichever version of this podcast you're listening to when where, we got plenty of stuff to work with, and we also have same guests. Welcome back. Say hello.
And my name is Mitch, and today we're going to be looking into some of the fun changes that happened between the Ranma manga and the anime.
Yeah, that was a great recap of the 20 minutes we just lost due to Audacity crashing.
Yeah. Shout out to Audacity. Gotta be one of the programs of all time.
But yes, we're here to talk about the many ways in which manga and anime can change when adapting from one to the other. It's a fun subject. You picked it out among some ideas I tossed out. It seemed like something you were interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially as someone whose first exposure to Ranma was from the brand new anime.
Yeah.
It's fascinating going back to the old anime and then the manga, because it's like, it really is just like a whole new world of cool stuff, you know?
Yeah. It is nice having three versions of stuff for some of these. And as I've discussed previously, both in prior episodes and 10 minutes ago, the second season of the classic anime is where things had the most changes. So I got a lot of examples from that, but also just throughout the series. Just the different things that they do when they decide we're going to change this are fascinating to me.
Oh, absolutely. And it's one of those things where sometimes the changes are so small that you're like, oh, okay, this is just like an artistic flourish. Sometimes the episode in the manga chapter might as well just be completely different. And so far, from what you've shown me, it's all been fun. It's not like there's a bad Ranma and a good Ranma. Yes. From what I've seen, you have curated these for me, so I haven't seen the mythical true filler, I don't think, but...
Yes, I did not recommend any of the Frog Master episodes or some of the other stuff that I spared you with this list in particular. We will get to stuff, and thankfully we noticed our Audacity mistakes before we got to that, so it'll still be new to you when we get to that.
Woo! Woo! Yeah, it is an actual godsend. We didn't get into the meat and potatoes of this episode before picking up on the errors. Could you imagine?
Well, thankfully, we can introduce this much quicker because the things that I wanted to cover before starting the actual discussion of these episodes is just the more generalized changes. There are minor ones, like the classic anime skipped Gosen Kugi, meaning we got like 2 or 3 arcs where, well, he's not here, so we have to write around that, but it was honestly not that hard. And then the manga just kind of stopped using him, so it was easy to just erase him. But then he came back in the manga, so the anime brought him in via filler, a filler episode that reintroduces Gosen Kugi, and now he's here to do the canon stuff. But then the manga stopped using him, so now we have to make new filler for Gosen Kugi because we brought him in. We got the voice actor. We're going to have him be present. And it's just so interesting. But the bulk of what we discussed is there is one change in particular that, like, out of all the changes the anime makes, either version, honestly, I can at least kind of look at it and guess why. But it's specific, the one that continues to baffle me, and no one in the comments has given me any ideas. People have been very nice and pointing out when I'm wrong about something. But this time, no one else is free of this confusion. Is just, why did the classic anime decide to make Ranma's transformation a secret to everyone still?
Oh, and it's so good because it being a secret to everyone, I feel like takes away a lot of what makes Kuno especially stupid.
Yes.
Because in the manga, everyone knows, which makes Kuno like extra dumb.
Not only does everyone know in the manga, but because everyone knows, Ranma will just be at school in girl form. It'll be PE class, and he is in the girl's uniform because they're swimming or whatever. And Ranma's just a girl sometimes. His class is just used to that, meaning Kuno has probably actually seen the pigtailed girl around school before. It is funnier if he's the only one, but for some reason, the anime decided to just remove that plot detail of everyone eventually learning that Ranma can turn into a girl and just kind of being used to it. And it only comes up in like 3 other episodes past that point. So it's just like, why did they change it in the first place then? Why? It's so irrelevant for the most part, outside of like, well, here's a story where Akane has to learn how to swim, and because they're using the school pool, Ranma's jumping in and out, he has to make sure nobody sees him in the anime version. And it wasn't until it was the final season, it was like the 6th to last episode, where they finally just had Genma literally walk in with a tea kettle and bucket just to demonstrate to everyone, just boy Ranma, girl Ranma, boy Ranma, girl Ranma. And it's like, oh, okay, everyone's up to speed. Okay, thank you for clarifying. And that's it. Just that's how quick it was to fix.
Someone at the studio was like, guys, I have a great idea for if we need to make some filler. What if we just create a conflict out of nowhere? Also, shout out to the only time Genma's helpful.
It's not even like they make filler episodes based on that concept. It's not even relevant there. So I'm just
that's true, yeah. Yeah, they really just kind of did it for the sake of doing it.
My only guess is the first season, people have fond memories of it. There's a lot of good things to say about it, but it had so many behind-the-scenes problems that it almost got the series canceled.
Oh, really?
People got moved around. The show got moved to a new time slot with a new title. That's why it sometimes has Netohen at the end of it.
Oh.
And like, I'm curious if like, is that why the second season made more changes rather than additions when comparing the first 2 seasons together? And if so, would they have continued to do that if they didn't like catch up to the manga and then have to resort to doing more filler from the 3rd season onwards? But like, clearly the shuffling around behind the scenes led to decisions being made, and probably there were people who were in positions to just not question anything of like, we're lucky to even get a second season.
You know what? I could definitely see that of, if you don't know who your boss is going to be next week, then you're probably just going to be riffing a little bit. Like, I've been there where you're just like, all right, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm even going to be here tomorrow. Whatever. We're winging it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, there's some bizarre choices that I just like, I can't guess. I don't have any idea. This feels like somebody just said, why don't we do this? And nobody questioned them. So that's how it is.
You know what? I empathize with that from the depths of my soul. I've been in that position of, hey, why are we doing this? I don't know, man.
Working at the Circle Factory, and half the time it's making triangles.
Exactly. Just like, okay, sure, man, whatever. You know, sometimes you got to get that episode out, but it's 4 p.m. on a Friday, so you're just drawing as fast as you can to get out the door, you know.
But yes, there's general changes, but as I said, I've selected some specific examples to just try and get as much variety in like the types of changes and ways that they differentiated from the manga version. And last thing I did before we restarted, I was asking you what direction you'd like to take this in. Like, what order should we cover these? Should we do chronological order? Should we go by favorites? Well, what would you like to do here?
I definitely think I kind of like the idea of going from order of least change to most change. And then kind of
Yeah,
ending off with the episode that has the largest quantity of changes just to give us like the most,
the largest deviation.
yeah,
Okay.
really start digging into it.
All right. So I could kind of work with that. And conveniently, this mostly puts us in reverse chronological order.
Oh, awesome.
Because again, the second season is where the most changes were made. So we're just kind of working backwards towards that one particular season.
You know what? That's pretty awesome though. I'm here for it.
Cool. Well, in that case, let's let's start with Run Away with Me, Ranma. Cause that one
Okay.
is like mostly the same, but like the biggest change it makes to it is more just kind of like Ranma's attitude. His actions are the same, but the way those actions are
Yeah.
presented changes between versions. And that's why I found that one interesting and why I put it on this list.
Oh, absolutely. Because well, I guess before we should probably dig into it, we should probably give a little bit of a recap.
Yeah, yeah. So do you want to like quickly summarize like what is this story about?
Okay, so with Runaway with Me, Ranma, Ranma is having terrible nightmares of being in his girl form, and then a creepy old man kisses him. And instead of going to therapy about it, Ranma decides that he's just never going to sleep again.
Yeah, Cloud will eat him.
Certified guy moment, I understand. But obviously it doesn't work because, believe it or not, sleep is required. Uh, and eventually, while he's just kind of chilling in his backyard, some guy just appears on the roof and is like, "Oh my god, you're the girl. Let me come show you my grandpa." Essentially, they get there, there's this old man, he's on his deathbed with his son and his wife, and his deathbed wish is to go on a date with Ranma, because Ranma in his girl form looks identical to the one that got away.
Yes, his first love, Gyoko.
Yes. And his wife is weirdly okay with it at the start. We'll get back to that, but none of the characters seem to understand like why his wife is super okay with it. Like nobody seems to question that.
Everyone here's weird. Like the doc. Like they're all introducing like I'm the grandson, I'm the wife, and I am the doctor. And the doctor's doing weird poses and pulling out mics to do a little stand-up routines.
I thought that was like a little anime flourish, and then in the manga, he's also just like that. Like, okay.
Yes.
Like, okay, so this guy's just like a weird little freak in every universe. And they do this whole thing where the dying old man is just astral projecting out of his body the whole time.
Yes, and that specifically is why Ranma's having the nightmares because the man is basically haunting Ranma from his hospital bed.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'll stop if we go on a real date.
Yeah. And they eventually wind up going on a date, and I feel like it's when they start going on the date that we actually see the manga and the anime actually kind of, that's the first big like split in how they kind of present it.
Yeah, I'd say it's more like, so the first biggest change in the manga, Ranma has one nightmare, and then the next morning he's talking about it, and this random guy is on their roof being like, I just happened to overhear, let's go see my grandpa in the hospital, how convenient. And they're immediately there, and Ranma is just kind of annoyed as he is forced to go on a date. Worth noting, this was a single chapter. Very short.
Yeah, it's a whole 16 pages. So they get through this.
Yes. And they needed to pad that out somehow. So in the anime version, it takes multiple days at least. We're not told specifically, but it takes a while before the grandson finds Ranma and actually overhears him and Akane on the street. He doesn't just immediately find their home and conveniently takes them to the grandpa so we can get the plot going. Which means
Yeah.
in this version, Ranma is actually sleep deprived. He has spent like the last week being unable to sleep because these weird nightmares keep happening where like it's not just a creepy old man trying to kiss him, it's also like before that Ranma and this young man are acting out this like romance drama and they're about to kiss and then the guy turns into an old man. So like Ranma wakes up very confused about what is all that. I don't want to sleep. There is a creepy old man that will get me.
Yeah. Different from the creepy old man in my house.
Yeah.
And it flows much better in the anime, I think, because we actually get some time with, like, we actually kind of know why Ranma's willing to go along with it versus the manga where it's just like bro has one bad dream and gets dragged into fulfilling this old man's creepy death wish.
Yeah, the manga is just like we've been through this enough times, Rama. You know how like it's a weird guy of the week. You've been through these before. Just do it. Like again, Ranma seems more annoyed of like, I guess we're doing this now. This is just how the plot must go. Whereas the anime version sets it up of like, to me, I guess the biggest change is that in the anime, Ranma starts off way more angry and irritated, and then at the end point, he's got a much more like opposite extreme where he's actually kind of connecting to the old man and learning about him and just comes across as a much nicer person. Whereas the manga, he's just kind of consistently annoyed but only mildly inconvenienced throughout.
Yeah. Manga Ranma, this particular arc is like, oh, a creepy old man wants to be a creep on me. I guess it's a day that ends in Y. Meanwhile, like anime Ranma is like, he's sleep deprived and he's like swinging emotionally in a way that you actually would if you're sleep deprived. Like,
yeah, he's like, I need this to stop. Whatever you're doing, stop it.
yeah, like he absolutely starts off willing to just suplex this old man in a hospital bed, and then by the end of it, they do a little a death fake out, and he's like genuinely moved to tears for this old man, and it's like, okay, yeah, after a week without sleep, you probably would be like swinging back and forth like that.
Yeah, and I will point out, I have technically discussed this episode previously. This is where we get one of the examples I brought up of Ranma's ice cream habits.
Oh, okay. You're gonna have to break down the ice cream theory for me.
Yeah, because I've discussed how, like, the anime added several different scenes of, like, Ranma eating ice cream and the different ways they do the ice cream. There are, like, 7 episodes where they insert a scene of Ranma and Akane having ice cream or something, and the way they approach that, this ongoing development of what ice cream means and the symbolism. We had a good Pride Month talk about that, but I did mention there was one example where Ranma is in a really bad mood, and he specifically asks Akane to go get ice cream with him to cheer him up. Like, Ranma has learned the most powerful girl tech of eating a full tub of ice cream to cheer yourself up. He is just like eating this parfait, but looking very sad and depressed and sleep deprived. Just like,
oh my god, you're so right. Because I remember seeing that and getting like a huge laugh out of it because he's like miserably eating this very pretty looking parfait. And Akane is kind of grilling him about it.
And also mention how, like, during the date, Ranma is getting more feminine drinks and food. It's just a little interesting flourish that they changed. And that's like a consistent thing they do when it comes to Ranma's relationship with food. The anime remembers to, like, showcase Ranma going out of his way to eat these feminine foods he would probably never allow himself to have in boy form. Like, he's having a miserable time and is forced to go on this date, But that little melon soda with the cream on it, and then they put a little
Yeah.
slice of melon on it. Ooh, that looks great. Let's get that. He's got the old man. The old man ghost is paying, so he may as well get something good.
Yeah. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, man, I hope Ranma keeps that in his soul when he's old enough to drink, because the reality of the girly drinks being better, that gets so real once you get into cocktails. Oh my god.
Oh, I never thought of this, but you are absolutely correct. Like 20-year-old Ranma would definitely go to bars in girl form just so he can order the girly drinks.
Oh my god. Girl form Ranma going to a bar just so that guys pay for his drinks.
That is absolutely a thing he would do.
It's gotta happen. That's so real. I'm realizing I'm saying all of this. It would absolutely be a case of like Akane would get like a rum and coke. Ranma would get like a whole pina colada. You know, Ranma's getting sex on the beach, and the waiter's gonna come out, and they're not gonna know who's getting what.
This writes itself. This
Yeah.
is absolutely how it will go down. But yes, the setup for the date is where we start getting the differences, and then in the middle of the date, because there's a bunch of little developments here and there. For one thing, eventually it's revealed that the old man is trying to remember something. He feels like he's getting these hints of like, ooh, it's on the tip of my tongue. There's a very important promise I made. And I like how we hear this in Ranma's dream at the start. Because I remember at the start, Ranma's kind of in character in the dream. You know how sometimes you have a dream where you're just a different person?
Oh yeah.
In the dream, Ranma and this mystery guy, who is apparently the old man when he was young, they made a promise to come back when the cherry blossoms are in bloom, and then they're about to kiss. And like Ranma incorrectly deduces that the promise involves the kiss. And it's only until later that he's like, oh wait, the cherry blossoms. So like Ranma could have solved this problem much quicker. But he takes a while to get there.
Unfortunately, that would require Ranma to have a brain cell.
Yes, he at this point he is mostly just trying to avoid having to make out with this creepy old man who is he's the kind of like, he's not like Hoppleside lecherous, he's the embarrassing kind of lecherous.
Yeah.
He just wants to dance. Hell yeah, let's do this. Yeah, and just everyone seeing this girl in very old traditional clothes and a ghost.
Yeah, and I love speaking of how they present it, when I was reading the manga for this, I was like, oh my god, Ranma's dress and little boots and the manga are so much like, that is a sick outfit she has on, or he has on for that whole bit. That would be impossible to animate.
There have been instances of that I have noted of like, wow, Kodachi's kimono is so elaborate, and then in the anime version it is just a solid black kimono.
Yeah. And I wanted to give a shout out because it is an incredible fit.
Yes, the outfits in this are adorable. These are some of the best things Ranma has ever worn. The Gyoko like kimonos and stuff, both in the dream and then during the date. It's just really adorable. It's a good look for Ranma.
Oh, absolutely. And I cannot blame them for deciding not to animate that, because that would be a absolute nightmare. They also spend a bit more time on the anime showing how everybody is completely freaking out just watching this girl go on a date with a ghost.
Yeah, this is one of the more simple changes of just like, in the manga version, this is like a page with a couple of panels montaging through the date. But when you animate it, you know, each of those individual panels, you have to animate something. So we see more of it.
Oh, yeah. And they kind of have fun with it, too. Like, at one point, they have the old man's grandson is wearing this, like, long black cape for some reason.
Yeah!
And they have, like, the grandpa emerging from the cape in a couple of scenes, and it's a really cool shot.
I'm not sure what's up with the grandson's outfit. I thought it was kind of like those very old-fashioned style Japanese school uniforms with the capes. I've seen that outfit before, but like, he's just kind of wearing a normal black shirt and pants underneath. It's not really anything, but he just has the cape part and the hat. And I'm like, it feels like a very lazy version to make him look old-timey.
I like to imagine that he just saw Ranma dressing up and decided he was not going to be outdone. Bro busted out the cape collection to try and do something.
Yeah. But yes, both versions, we just kind of go through the date, while Akane and the grandson are just sort of following them just to kind of see how it goes. And then we get what sets up for the ending in the manga version, where in that version, Ranma's finally like, right, cherry blossoms. We can go do that, and then the date will be over. And they go there, and the cherry blossoms have been paved over. They're doing construction. And the old man is like, well, it's the thought that counts. Thanks anyways. Now I'm gonna move on. And then he just kind of leaves, and the date ends.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the anime, Ranma hits him with I don't know how to describe it, like gaslight hypnosis.
Yes!
And the entire crew sees it?
Yeah, it's okay. So, like, before the setup to that, like, the big twist is that, like, eventually the old man remembers, okay, he and Gyoko, they were supposed to elope. And then they made a promise that they would do so once the cherry blossoms were in bloom, but they never blossomed. And so Ram is like, got it. I saw that in the dream. That's what the dream was about. Let's go. And again, Rama's is kind of the same attitude he's always been the whole chapter, but they go there and the cherry blossoms aren't there, but again, it's the thought that count. In the anime version, the old man's flashback is so much more elaborate. Just this entire, like, old-timey period piece drama that happened of, like, he and this girl were engaged, but then his father lost everything to the stock market because capitalism is the true villain.
Yeah.
And, like, because of this, the girl's father decided to call off the engagement and try to marry her off to a rich man that she didn't love. And then they were like, let's elope. But it's like, no, we can't. We have to. What about my father? And they made a promise that, like, okay, we'll give it this much time. And if the cherry blossoms are still in bloom by the end of it, we'll elope. We'll run away together. And if not, then fate has decided it's just not meant to be. And they didn't bloom. And this is where we get the anime title, Run Away With Me, Ranma. This man's dying dream, his last regret is he didn't do anything about this. Gyoko left. We see in the flashback, she's in the little carriage leaving. His family lost everything. And sure, he settled down and had a good life, but she got away. What's he gonna do? And this is the part where, like, Ranma, despite being sleep deprived and way more irritable in this version, suddenly is like, oh, this actually means something to the old man.
Yeah.
And decides to help out for real. And this is where we get the shift in tone, where he brings them to the cherry blossoms, but it's paved over. And rather than just accepting it, Ranma it's weird that the others see it. If it was just the old man, it's kind of presented as like, no, look, it's the cherry blossoms, remember? And then, like, the dying old man is like, yes, I do remember. It's just like back then. Thank you, Gyoko. But the fact that Akane and the grandson also see it, it's like, what's Ranma doing? Is Ranma just that good at painting a picture?
It's either that or, like, Ranma took a couple levels in Bard and is out here casting minor illusion. Like, it's not explained why the others can see these cherry blossoms at all. And it's kind of great.
It's the kind of thing where we're like, this would unironically be really, really sweet if Ranma just did this to the dying old man and they just held hands and, like, it's like, yeah, Ranma understands this man's dying wish is more important than getting some sleep. He's learned a lesson. Ranma experiences an arc in the anime version, despite, again, his actions being pretty much identical in both.
Oh, absolutely. And it shows the degree to which, like, it's not necessarily what you write as much as it is how you present it that can have an impact.
Yeah, the fact that, like, Ranma starts lower and ends higher throughout the course of the episode. He starts off way more unreasonably angry and irritated, and by the end, he is being a genuine sweetheart. Ranma is a pure maiden at heart that understands the meaning of true love, and this poor man never got to have the romance he wanted. And then meanwhile, in the manga version, it's just like, yeah, we didn't get to see the flowers. That sucks. Oh, well, thanks for trying. Bye.
Yeah. And then in the manga version, it makes the final plot twist at the end. That one falls a little bit flatter than, than when they pull the reveal at the end there.
Yes,
in the anime.
because when the old man disappears, they're like, oh, he's passed on. Then that means, and they go to the hospital and they think he's dead, but it turns out he's not. He's fine.
Yeah, they do this whole bit where I think Ranma comes in and is like shouting like, "Get up, old man!" And then Akane is like, "Oh, don't scream that. You're gonna cause him to freak out. You'll give him a heart attack." And then the doctor just like climbs in through the window and is like, actually, shouting might be good for him. And then the old man's wife busts out like a whole drum set.
Trust the doctor, he knows.
It's somehow the surrealist part of the episode.
The doctor is here because we've had too many serious moments. We need to bring in the clowns.
Yeah, the doctor is like this bizarre creature. Like they don't explain why he's just crawling in through the windowsill of like the 8th floor of the building for this scene. He just is. Like,
yes, but the big final twist in both versions, although how it's presented is mildly different, is the old man then refers to his wife's name and calls her Gyoko.
Yeah.
Turns out she was the one that got away for like 1 week, and then they're like, "Nah, never mind. Let's go back. Let's elope. Let's do it anyways."
Yeah, it turns out they were like, you know what? Screw fate. We're doing this.
Yes, which is very, very sweet. I love that, like, in the manga, Ranma's like, she looks nothing like me. And then the anime did the same joke, but they expanded on it by making the old man a real wife guy, where he's like, yes, I know, you're not as pretty, but, you know, close enough.
It's so good. Ranma gets so offended by it. He's like, excuse you? I am the prettiest girl.
Ranma getting a glimpse at his future. But yeah, the both story versions end with the same punchline. Ranma's trying to sleep. The old man is back. And they even do the joke of like, oh no, he's haunting Ranma again. It's like, no, that's actually him. He just busted out of the hospital. He's kind of senile a bit, you know. Come on, Dad, let's go back. It's just like, come on, Gyoko, let's go see the pear blossoms. Let's do it. Yeah.
They're just like, oh no, he just does that sometimes. Don't worry about it. But yeah, this was a really fun case where it feels like everything that the anime added just kind of expanded upon and improved everything in the manga. Like,
yes. There's like not a single thing in this story where I prefer the manga version. And that's definitely not how it always is, but like this is one of my favorites, and why, even though the changes aren't huge, it feels huge. It feels like a big change because, again, the actions and events are the same, but how they're presented makes a world of difference.
Oh, absolutely. Like just having, you know, a little bit better pacing and giving more of an explanation for what the deal is with this old man. And all of that just goes a long way to make it go from kind of baffling, which is how the manga chapter reads. Like you get the through line, but the anime really actually gives you the kind of context to really connect with it better, I feel like.
Yeah, somebody looked at the story and realized the potential in it and decided to tell the story in a way that really shows off its strengths. And on the opposite spectrum, we have, well, what if somebody looked at an episode and said, well, what if I can make it more homophobic?
Oh yeah, they.
So how about we talk about the master student pill arc?
This one is interesting. So the setup for this one is that Hapasai is getting angry at Ranma because he's Hapasai and Ranma is Ranma.
Yes. This is literally just like multiple stories have begun exactly like this, where Hoppelsai is stealing underwear or being a creep, and Ranma stops him, and Hoppel's like, oh, just you wait, I've got my weird magic trinket of the week. You're gonna regret this.
Yeah, it is. It is the setup for if you had to just make a Ranma episode and you just didn't know what to do, you could just Hapasai and Ranma are fighting again. You don't even have to explain about what or about why.
Yeah, you don't even need the setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this time, Hoppelsai is trying to use a trinket, the master student pills, where two people take them, and it is supposed to basically eternally bind them and make the one who takes the student pill completely obedient and subservient to the one who ate the master pill. And it seems ominous, but then immediately something goes wrong, and Hoppelsai is just stuck to Ranma now.
Yeah, they describe it as like magnetically attached.
Yes, they just ate very strong magnets.
And I spent the entire time just thinking to myself, like, so does this mean like Ranma can never get a CAT scan or an MRI like ever again?
Yeah, what happens to the pill afterwards? They eventually remove its effects, but like it's still in his stomach.
Like I guess we'll never find out, but you know, that's gonna be a classic. It's magic, don't worry about it.
The manga version basically just implies that it's magnets. It's like,
yeah,
all of this just to explain now Ranma and Hoppelsai are stuck together. And we just get incredible visuals of like Hoppelsai shuffling around Ranma's body because he's so tiny.
Yeah, they could have just used super glue, and I don't think it would have changed what's going on.
Yeah, the magnet is specifically so Hoppelsai can still move. You have to be touching each other at all times, but it doesn't matter which part of you is touching.
Yeah, and it leads to the kind of incredible scene where Ranma is repeatedly trying to punch Hoppelsai, but Hoppelsai just wiggles out of the way. So Ranma takes himself out, which is just such a certified Ranma move.
Yes, this is a Looney Tunes story. This is like Hoppelsai has pulled out an Acme product and it is causing mischief. Ranma accidentally punches himself in the face, trying to stop Hoppelsai. Wacky stuff happens. I will point out the most important change. In the anime, they disguised Hoppelsai as a koala. So they could bring him to school.
Yeah, because that will surely attract less attention than if you just had an old man glued to you.
They eventually reveal that the magic will wear off if the person who ate the student pill can defeat the master. Like, the master basically has to prove that they are worthy of being the master of this relationship, and now the student must forever carry you and feed you and can never leave your side. You have to earn that, and
yeah.
Then the manga just kind of ends very quickly in like 2 pages, where Ranma's like, I got it. Hey, master, want to go check out the women's locker room? Let's do that. Yeah. And it's all just a trap to like try and get his guard down. And they're in the locker room, and then they fight, and then they crash through the wall through to the boys' locker room. And it's like, ew, naked boys, cooties. And Hoppelsai is so upset that his guard is down. Ranma punches him. And then we just get a panel of Hoppelsai in a full body cast. And it's like, yep, problem solved. And that's it. It's so quick.
It is quick. It's to the point. Like, it's punchy. Like, they get the gags, they get the plot in, and we actually get like a rare case of like Ranma having to use his brain and think on his feet. Well, I say rare, not particularly rare, but You know what I mean? Like, we actually get to see Ranma think his way through it.
He has solved the puzzle.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just one problem, though, and it's the fact that that part happens, and we still have like 10 minutes to the episode left. Uh-oh. We adapted everything, and now the manga just ends. What do we do? So they came up with, admittedly, a very smart decision. Where they're like, okay, Rama still does the thing of like, hey, master, let's go spy on the girls. And it's like, oh, good thinking, Ranma, where he's getting his guard down. Except no. Ranma just like the lights in his eyes disappear, and he just starts being completely subservient to Hopplesai. And it's like, uh-oh, are the pills doing something?
They have a fun bit where Akane is spending that whole time assuming that Ranma is just doing this to trick Hopplesai. So it's like the anime episode is not adapting the manga chapter, it's like in conversation with the manga chapter.
Yes.
Where like they expect you to have read the manga first.
It's honestly kind of creepy seeing Ranma in this state. Just like he's like, Akane, why would I ever do that? I love my master. I will always take care of him. It's like, Ranma, you're scaring me. What is this?
Oh yeah, they have this whole bit where like Ranma is giving him massages, and it's like, oh, okay, these pills have to be destroyed forever, right? We have to just delete these pills from existence. That is not okay.
Yes, Ranma actually being brainwashed is what's happening here.
Yeah.
To the point where like at one point they're spying, they're on girls playing volleyball, and Ranma is like drooling. He is like he is getting just as like horn dog as Hopplesai. He is being influenced by Hopplesai. His personality is changing. This is identity death that Hopplesai's doing.
Oh yeah, and like they have this whole bit where like Ranma transforms into girl mode while Hopplesai is like attached to his arm, and that entire bit I was like, just cut off the arm. It's fine. You don't need it anymore. Just get away. Like,
yeah. This is where again, Hopplesai being a little tiny thing like that, you can just put a koala disguise on him is the only reason these visuals are not worse than they are.
Yeah, it's dire.
But eventually, they decide to fix this. Ranma's too far gone, so now instead of Ranma having to solve the puzzle, Akane has to solve it. And the way she solves it is similar to the manga, but again, somebody read that ending and went, but what if we could do more of that?
Yeah. So instead of Ranma going, acting like he's going into the girls' locker room and then revealing it, and it turns out he's in the boys' locker room and punching Hopplesai while he's caught off guard, Ranma goes into the locker room and sees he and Akane's dad, who are just there in drag for some reason. The implication is that Akane told them to do that, but they don't spell it out, so there's also a good chance that maybe they just do this sometimes.
The part where Hopplesai's like, ew, boys, ew, that's gay. It's basically like, but what if we just did that even more? So like, it's not just Hopplesai that gets distracted, now it's Ranma getting so distracted that he forgets he's hypnotized. He's like, what the hell are you guys doing? It's like, now Ranma, punch him! Oh, right. And there we go. And it's just, hey, isn't it creepy when men dress up like women? Isn't that crazy? We got Son and Genma dressed in drag and acting effeminate, and it's like, ew, gross, we don't want that. That's nasty. And that's the ending. And it's like, oh boy.
It's like, ooh. And it's one of those things where it's like, because it definitely feels like this episode, they wanted to catch the people who read the manga off guard, right? We know you've read this chapter. So how do we catch you off guard, reader?
So here's the thing. Well, first of all, at the very least, they did at least throw in one extra joke where everyone beats up Hopplesai, just like in the manga. He's in a full body cast, but they have the ending where Ranma is carrying Hopplesai back home, and Akane asks him, like, I thought, it's like, are you still under the influence? He's like, well, no, I'm not just gonna leave a, like, beat up old man on the street. We gotta take him home. And it's like, oh, Ranma's being nice. Ranma is giving Happosai the respect that he did not receive.
Yeah.
He's showing honor here. But then it cuts to they're at home, and it's like, here you go, master. We'll give you some nice soup so you get nice, all better. Akane made it. Would you like to try some? Here you go. That's the ending. But, like, I think you're onto an interesting theory. I think that it's not about catching the manga readers off guard. I think that whoever directed this episode was trying to do what the Run Away With Me Ranma episode did and expand and improve upon something. It's just that their opinion on how to improve something is this. And my reasons for suspecting this is because there is one detail we forgot to mention that was not in the manga, and that's Ukyo.
Yeah. Oh, I was waiting for when we were gonna bring it up.
Yes, but here's the thing. Ukyo doesn't do anything in this episode. She's not present during the finale when they defeat him because, well, they need something gross. And Ukyo's not gross. But more importantly, Ukyo's wearing the wrong clothes in this episode.
Oh my god, I didn't even catch that.
She's wearing the girl's uniform. And it's like, that's not what she wears. She wears the boy's uniform. Even when people find out that she's a girl, she continues to wear the boy's uniform. That's just how she dresses. And, like, the first time I saw her show up in the episode, I'm like, is that an animation error? Has it just been so long that we saw her at school that somebody forgot that she wears the boy's uniform? But then the more I thought about it, is like, okay, this is like maybe potentially the most homophobic Ranma media that exists officially because of that ending. And the fact that, like, here is Ukyo dressed up very feminine just to be pretty. She doesn't contribute to the plot. She doesn't, like, do anything. She doesn't help out. Well, she tries, but she fails to, like, remove them with her spatula. Like, her spatula breaks, like, 3 times in the episode.
It's not even 3, because she gives up so easy. Like, because at first she shows up, she swings, she breaks her spatula, and she goes, oh no, my favorite spatula. And then she comes back, and her spatula gets bent, and she's like, no, my favorite spatula, I just fixed that. And then she just goes, oh, well, if Ranma's gonna have this old man stuck to him, then I guess I don't really want to marry him. And then just leaves. And it's like...
Yes!
It's like, oh, okay, so she just wasn't that invested in this whole relationship, I guess.
And this 100% feels like somebody just wanted to put their waifu in the episode.
Oh, 100%. Like... Oh my god, I completely missed the dress thing because I was like, oh no, she has like a work uniform. I missed that she's supposed to wear the boy's uniform there.
Yeah, and like Ukyo is the reason where I'm like, I bet whoever wrote this thought that they were improving the story. It's just that their opinion of improving is, well, look, here's the best girl. And look, she's trying to help Ranma, but she eventually concludes, well, Ranma sucks and I don't want to deal with this old man, and leaves because she's too good for them. She's my waifu. I got dibs. Anyways, here's a bunch of gay stuff so that they could defeat Ranma, because what could be worse than that? And like, all of this put together is why I don't think this is like, oh, we'll just shock the readers of the manga. We'll just do things different to surprise them. I'm like, no, I think somebody thought they were cooking.
Oh, I could absolutely see it. Like, now that you're laying it out, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I can see that. Yeah, because you're right. Because she just, after she has that moment where she goes like, nah, Ranma isn't worth 2 spatulas, and leaves, she's just gone for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, is Ukyo for the streets? Because she really is in this episode. Like, she like half-heartedly tries once with a spatula, and then tries again with the same spatula, and then goes, eh.
But yes, that's that episode. And again, bad Ranma does exist. I think the anime version of this episode is legitimately like not very good. Because it's the opposite of Run Away with Ranma, where everything they change makes it worse.
Oh, absolutely. Like, Because the manga story is just like, it's so incredibly simple that there's not much to add.
Yes. Again, they adapted it faithfully, and there's still like half the episode left, so we have to just make more stuff up, and this was the result.
Yeah, like, you joked earlier about Hapasai's, like, Acme box of gadgets, but it kind of is just like a Wile E. Coyote sketch.
Yeah, like that's why the ending is so abrupt. It's just like, okay, we're done with jokes now. End of the story. That's it. It's not treated as like an arc where Ranma outsmarts Happosai once and for all. It's just like, well, eventually he's gonna lose.
Yeah. It would be like creating, like if you took a Tom and Jerry sketch and then you decided to randomly add, like, Courage the Cowardly Dog shows up for like 5 minutes randomly, and then at the end you just have the author come out and be really angry about, like, drag queens and then leave. It's like, what?
Yes.
It's like, what is going on here?
But yes, now we've gotten two very opposite extremes on the spectrum of how do we adapt this these single chapter storylines in a way where we're kind of required to make changes just so that it fills the time slot.
Yeah. Now we've got perhaps the biggest changes. And the clash of the delivery girls.
Yeah, but before we do that, I have one last shout out to something I did not assign to you because it's only like the last 5 minutes of the episode that are different. But again, it's kind of a big deal. It's a minor change, but the presentation goes a long way. Do you remember the Dojo Destroyer story?
Yes. Yeah.
The one where Ranma is forced to go on a date with Shampoo while Akane has to fight this guy that challenged their dojo, and shenanigans ensue.
Yeah. I remember enjoying that. I always have a soft spot for, like, every Shampoo arc.
Yeah. So in the manga version, Ranma has to go on a date with Shampoo, and he's worried about Akane, but they're being tsundere, and then eventually Ranma basically tricks Shampoo. And I do think that joke was funny, where Ranma's like, "Okay, come on, let's go for a ride. I'll take you somewhere romantic." And he's on the bike, and eventually Shampoo's like, "Huh, that's weird. We're heading in the direction of the oh, god damn
it!" Yeah.
And just Ranma shows up to help Akane, but Shampoo is upset that Ranma basically just ditched her mid-date, or at least tried to. And so now she's interfering with the fight. And now it basically goes from Akane versus the Dojo Destroyer to Ranma versus Shampoo. Like, Shampoo's basically using the Dojo Destroyer as a weapon. He ceases to be a character. This guy is just here to be Shampoo's puppet.
Yeah, like, the much more terrifying boss fight has arrived.
Yes, and like, it's like Shampoo being admittedly justifiably upset that Ranma is just trying to trick her to ditch their date. In the anime version, what instead happens is mid-date, Ranma gets distracted for like the dozenth time, and then eventually Shampoo just sighs and is like, "You're really worried about Akane, aren't you? Alright, hop in." And then they get on the bike, and then Shampoo willingly takes Ranma back to the dojo under the promise that they continue their date later. There is no trickery.
Yeah.
And on top of that, because Shampoo is no longer upset, now they actually have to fight the Dojo Destroyer. He actually gets to do stuff. And on top of that, Ranma and Akane get to double team him. Akane doesn't leave the fight once Ranma shows up. They're both fighting this dude together.
Yeah, it's a big part of it is like because Remake Ranma is my first experience to it. So that version of Shampoo, who's just like way more emotionally mature than the rest of the cast, is the default Shampoo in my mind.
Yes. And the remake version of that story is 100% faithful. It didn't make any changes whatsoever. But like, the ending is the same in both versions too, where like, okay, now we can go back to the date, or Shampoo's just kind of being a stinker. She pulls out the microphone, is like, "I'm so excited to get to make out with Ranma again. Let me speak into the mic for everyone to hear.
She earned it.
I really like this, and it goes to like a lot of the changes I've talked about in the past regarding the Cologne arc, about how the classic anime went out of its way to give Shampoo more of a character arc. Shampoo comes across as more like she will be a stinker, she will get in the way, but like she doesn't hate Akane. She's not gonna ruin everything. She's like, okay, fine. Get on the bike, let's go.
Yeah.
There's a lot more kindness there to her. She feels more like a proper person instead of just a cartoon character to get in the way. And it's just like, again, it's just the last 5 minutes, but it's so different in feel.
Oh, totally. And it's, again, it really is a lot of presentation and how changing like one or two lines can change an entire character.
Yeah. So again, it's just like the last 5 minutes, so I didn't recommend the whole episode, but I wanted to mention that because that was also a season 2 episode. But very importantly, to bring that up is the characterization of Shampoo and comparing that to the next story of how the manga and the anime decide to characterize Shampoo. Mainly because the anime version decided to characterize her by just not having her be present at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so, we've kind of gone over like the basic storyline and plot of each one, and then kind of gone into how they're different. For this episode, they're just telling different plots entirely. So, do we want to
Yes.
start with the manga or do we want to start with the anime?
Sure, let's start with just the manga version. I'm gonna skip some parts of it because half of this arc in the manga is just Kuno shenanigans, which, those are
Yeah.
fun, but they're not that complicated. I don't need to go into detail about those.
Oh, absolutely. It's in the manga, it is set up and then like 3 straight chapters of goofy fighting.
Yeah. So I will also point out this is one of the few instances where the remake also makes some changes. Not as major,
Yeah.
obviously, but it basically in the manga version, there is just a delivery food race happening. They don't elaborate on this in any way. It is just an event that is happening in town. Shampoo
Yeah.
and Cologne are informed of this, and then it's basically each restaurant picks someone to race on their behalf, and restaurants can sponsor someone. So 2 restaurant goers go to the Tendo Dojo to sponsor Akane, and then they see Rama gets turned into a girl, and it's like, oh sweet, we got 2 of them. And that's why they're in the race. And that's kind of it. That's the only justification. It's just, hey, there's a race. Let's just compete. Because they're being sponsored, it's like you'll get like a year's supply of ramen and all this like food. We even get the joke. It's like, Dad, are you just gonna sell me for like a bowl of like eel? It's like, no, Akane, I got 5 bowls.
certified like Ranma parent moment.
Yes.
The classic anime goes into that a little bit too. But we'll get there.
And like once we get the setup, as you said, it is just martial arts shenanigans. First, they have to race to the house, they have to deliver it, and it's just nonsense. It is just like, again, their only motivation is like, well, if we win, we get food out of it, and it's just competition. They're just being competitive, that's it. And then they get to the house, and it's the Kuno mansion, so more shenanigans happen.
Yeah, and to kind of get a little bit into some of the changes in the remake does do a kind of a fun thing with it,
Yeah.
where they say that Akane is like last year's champion or something, or like she's been winning these
Yeah.
every year.
Akane is like a local celebrity in this version.
Yeah. It feels like they found an opportunity to give a bit more characterization to Akane here, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, not only that, it makes the neighborhood feel more lived in.
Yeah.
That like, yeah, of course locals know who Akane is. She's like the strongest girl in town.
Yeah. It's so interesting too because like we know that from just background, right? That Akane always was that.
Yes.
But getting an opportunity to actually show us that makes it feel real, you know?
Exactly.
Although I don't remember if she has her rad skateboard in the remake.
I took note that, like, in the manga version, she just has the skateboard for, like, one page, and then it cuts away from her.
Yeah.
But, like, she did have the skateboard, at least for a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyways, aside from that, the remake is also mostly faithful, and again, like, half the story is just Kuno shenanigans, which are not super important to this. And then we get to the classic anime, and what they decided to do was completely ruin their schedule because this episode came out before the episode where Shampoo came back from China.
Oh, that's why it's like that.
Yeah, but like, that's one of those things where I'm like, well, that explains it, but also that just raises more questions of, well, then why? Why did they change the order? So they were now forced to rewrite this story to make sense without Shampoo in it. Why not just have this be later in the season?
It's one of those things where you look at it and you're like, they must have been like beyond hell into production Hades. Like, things must have been on fire in the background for something like that to happen.
I can only guess if they were moving around, especially since this was the first episode of the second season.
Oh wow, really?
So all the fires being put out as they transition between the two seasons must have affected this episode at the very least.
This must have been so confusing to catch on TV back then, like if you were an avid reader, just to catch this and be like, is this an anime only episode? Oh, but wait, no, they do the race. What? Like, I can't imagine how confusing that must have felt at the time.
So, I'm not sure how much this influenced their decision, but one thing I will note is that you said Akane doesn't do as much in this version, and that is true. But I feel the stuff she does do is more meaningful because they kind of lean into the Ranma Akane ship stuff a little bit more in this version. Like, maybe that influenced them of like, well, in telling the story this way, they are setting up Ranma and Akane's dynamic a bit better. I don't really know what their decision to change this was for, but the big change is, well, if Shampoo is not here, we need a new girl. We need somebody else for them to race.
Yeah. I guess we should get started with like kind of the background on it, because like nothing we're gonna explain about the new girl is gonna make sense if we don't.
Well, one last bit of context I will give is that Ukyo had just been introduced in the manga.
Oh,
when this episode came out.
Oh my god, yeah. Okay, because the new girl is just Ukyo, but for a different kind of food.
Yes. She's just Ukyo, but without the gender stuff, and is therefore a lesser Ukyo, but like, yeah, it's just Ukyo. She is just a food-themed martial arts girl, and like Ukyo, Genma...
Oh my god, Genma...
maybe made some promises with her dad he shouldn't have.
Genma is... The more Ranma I watch, the more I'm convinced that, like, Genma is starting to creep up there with the dad from Evangelion. In terms of, like, bad anime dads, like, he's the worst. Bro literally sold his son for a fish. Like...
People love to bring up this example, and I am always quick to point out that, like, yes, and then he immediately stole Ranma back.
That's true.
It's not like he was planning on leaving there. He's like, no, he's like, what a sucker. I traded him my baby, and then I just took the baby back.
That is true, but then the anime does add in that Santa Claus looking dude that shows back up. He's like, oh, my son, Ranma.
Yes, the twist at the end of the episode is that this isn't even the first time Genma has done this. Literally, the last line is Ranma being like, Dad, how many fiancés do I have?
Like, Genma really decided this was the scam that he was gonna milk for every last drop of food he could get.
Genma... when he was younger, when Ranma was just a baby, decided to trade Ranma for a bowl of rice, but he insisted that they throw in the pickles.
Yeah.
Just to make it more fair. To this other guy who I only imagine is just also a wandering homeless martial artist. Because there's just this guy out in the desert with his baby. And he's like, well, I need an heir. I need a male heir for my martial arts school. So will you give me your son? He and my daughter can get married when they grow up. And it's like, yep, sold. Here you go. Now I'm just going to go behind that rock. Don't look while I fabricate this like cartoon fishing rod contraption.
Yeah, well, I fish my baby that you've conveniently just stashed away out of sight after trading it for a fish.
Yes. And I really like the implication that this guy turned around, saw that the baby was missing, and was like, oh, well, I'll just come find him 15 years from now. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. Everyone in the Ranma universe takes these marriage contracts incredibly seriously.
Because, yeah, this guy shows up, he was promised an heir, and he has come to make sure Genma delivers, despite the fact it's been over a decade later. A promise is a promise. That's very important to martial artists. Ranma's mom is a testament to that.
And it's worth noting, the guy shows up in like a gold-plated Cadillac. So, like, apparently the last decade was great for him.
Yeah, he like it really shows that like he doesn't need Ranma. He's just like, well, that's my son.
Yeah, like he's.
I traded a bowl of rice for him. It's my responsibility to take care of him. I need to train him to take over the family business.
Yeah,
just so matter of factly.
It's not that he thinks he can't get a new heir. It's just that he's like, oh well, I have one waiting for me.
Yes. So the segue into the delivery race is that instead of being a local celebrity thing, instead of being done for food, first of all, the food is just the prize now. It has nothing to do with sponsors. It's just the winner just gets free ramen. That's it.
Yeah.
And the actual reason they're competing is because this man's daughter, Kaori, who is basically just Ukyo, she even has the same voice actress.
Yeah. Kirkland brand Ukyo.
And this is where I said it kind of leads into the Ranma Akane ship a little bit. Because Kaori can immediately tell that Akane loves Ranma. Because the first thing she asks is, do you love him? And Akane is like, no way, I'm a tsundere and I refuse to admit it. And despite hearing that, Kaori whispers into her father's ear, and it's like, basically, like, nah, she doesn't buy that.
Yeah. What I like is that they show she doesn't whisper until she actually sees Ranma and Akane bickering, and that's what tips her off. She's like, oh, okay, they bicker like an old married couple already.
Yeah, she knows. Like she is super down to get married to this person she has essentially never met. But once she sees him and Akane interact, she's immediately like, oh no, he already has someone, so I'm gonna ask. And then, just to be fair, literally the dad says, oh, she could tell that you're in love with this boy, so to be fair, let's have a competition. There just happens to be a noodle delivery race happening in town today, let's sign up for that. And that's the setup. And I will say, I think perhaps one of the biggest improvements is having a one-off goofy character with a hyper-specific martial arts is always preferable to a character pulling out a move that they never use again.
Yeah, I am always here for my one-off goofy weirdos. And like even if she is just dollar store Ukyo, when she whips out the ramen, I think she makes the pun of like, this attack is the ramen noose or something, and she creates like a noose out of ramen and uses it to strangle him. I'm like okay, this is like a fun and creative spin on food attack.
Yeah, and it makes a lot more sense than Shampoo just having these food-based attacks that, again, she never uses again. And, like, I get that her family runs a restaurant, but it's not like Shampoo was ever food-themed prior to this, and she doesn't become food-themed afterwards. It's just a thing she does, and That's it. It's just something she somehow knows how to do with noodles. And it's just a lot funnier to have a character for whom, like, no, noodles is her thing.
Yeah.
That's her thing. This is what she is trained in.
It's her whole entire life. And it especially makes it funnier too, because like the entire episode is built on the fact that this rich guy is here to fulfill this contract, apparently not believing that his incredibly wealthy athletic heiress son is just not going to be able to find a guy.
They do technically give up pretty quickly. It's just like, well, we lost a race. Oh, well, see ya.
That is true. This is the most anyone in the Ranma universe like cares about consent. She goes, "Oh, I lost the race. Anyway, bye," and never shows back up.
Yeah, they didn't even. The only reason they're doing a race in the first place is because she can tell that Akane does not approve, and she is giving Akane an out.
Yeah,
she's giving Akane an excuse to oppose the marriage without directly saying it.
Yeah, and it really is great because it adds a little bit of characterization of like, oh, these are the only people in this entire universe who will just leave if you say no. Like,
they're very fair, but you know who's not fair? Ranma.
Yeah.
Because of the whole competition, unlike in the manga version, in this version, Ranma did not sign up for the race. Instead, Genma dresses up in drag so he can get the free food.
The certified Genma moment.
Does not end well for him, but he does it. Unlike that other episode, Genma's got no problems dressing up in this one. It's for a good cause.
I think he even says the line of, "This too is part of anything goes martial arts."
Yes, why would he be embarrassed?
Yeah.
Who cares about dressing in drag? There is a year's supply of ramen on the line.
Yeah. Like, guys, you are the head of Bugs Bunny ass martial arts. You should be okay with this.
But yeah, because Ranma did not sign up, the whole thing is that Ranma is concerned for Akane, but he does not want to admit it, so he's just kind of watching in secret. And we eventually reach a point where Kaori, who is just really strong at kicking ass, and Ranma has no choice, or rather, Genma literally pushes him in the river.
Yeah.
Genma also being a good wingman here.
Yeah, true.
So that Ranma can jump in and enter the race, and he literally picks up Akane's bowl. And I'm like, that's not how that works, Ranma. Like, you can't just sub in. You should have registered. That's not how. Like, later on, he and Akane are double teaming to win, and it's like, no, but you can't just take somebody else's bowl.
Yeah, just hard cheating. It even ends with like Ranma grabbing this other girl's legs to hold her down so Akane can walk across the finish line.
Kaori's ahead. Ranma's got Akane's bowl. Akane's limping because she was injured. So Ranma throws the bowl. Kaori dodges it, and while she's distracted, Ranma tackles her to the ground. The bowl then bounces off a lamppost. Akane catches it, and now we just have this really slow race of Akane limping to the finish line while Kaori tries to drag herself there, with Ranma pulling her back. And it's just like, you should be allowed to do that.
Yeah. And it's like, maybe that's the reason why Kaori left.
But either way, yes, they win. And as stated, this family has no qualms just accepting that they have lost. And just be like, well, good job. I see you two make a great team. And again, I think this might have been a factor into the change of orders of this episode. Really does lean into Ranma and Akane's relationship.
Yeah. It has one of, I think, my favorite shots in all of Ranma is just, it shows them briefly at home, and it shows that instead of just having this year supply of ramen, like, sent to them throughout the year, no, the family decides to eat all that ramen tonight, and there's just like 85 bowls of ramen around the table. Like,
yes.
Of all the visual gags, that one got me.
This could feed us for 1 year, but we're gonna eat it now.
It's like, it really is just like, yeah, that's the Tinto family.
They have ordered a year's supply of ramen, and it is one order. They all came in at once.
Yeah.
They earned it.
They got it fair and square by cheating incredibly hard.
But yes, that is that story, which is actually two stories. Because yes, they are basically entirely different stories that just happen to both have a noodle delivery race in the middle.
Yeah. Like I mentioned it earlier in the accursed lost audio timeline. This really is a, oh boy, two cakes scenario of like,
Yes.
like they're both just fun little adventures.
Yeah, I personally prefer the anime version, but like it's so different that like, yeah, it's just a second cake.
Yeah, it's one of them is chocolate and one of them is red velvet, right? Like you're gonna look and you're gonna be like, oh, and then until you taste it, you don't realize, oh, these are just completely different. The only gripe I have with the anime is I find it incredibly funny that the entire time in the manga, Akane is just wearing a skirt that says barbecue eel on it.
Yes, that is one last thing I do want to mention is Akane had a really cool outfit in the manga version and the remake.
Yeah.
Whereas the classic anime just gave her regular gi.
Yeah.
And like Ranma too. Ranma got to wear
It's like a little maid outfit.
the waitress uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the waitress uniform from when he briefly worked at Cologne's. I guess he just kept it in his closet. He still has it.
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
But that hasn't happened yet in the anime. So in the anime, he's just wearing his default clothes. So like worst clothes all around.
Yeah. And it honestly, in my mind, I kind of have the classic anime version is just like a prequel to the one from the remake and from the manga. Because it's just two different stories that happen to be structured the same way. And also one thing that I do just kind of want to throw in there, kind of apropos of nothing, I do really appreciate in the remake that they got a voice actress for Shampoo who is much better at speaking Chinese. Like, incredibly minor comment, but I do really appreciate that, like,
Yeah.
she's actually pronouncing these things mostly correctly, and I'm here for it.
Yes. And I believe the Japanese version also has her change her speech patterns, even though I believe it's the same voice actress.
That's awesome.
But I will say I think she's doing a better job. I have a hard time understanding her sometimes because she's kind of like half whispering her lines.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
There are times where I genuinely need subtitles for her because she talks like this. It's a little more authentic, but I'm like, what did she just say?
Yeah, she's on that like ASMR mode.
But anyways, we technically have 2 more episodes, and you know, I'm looking at time, and I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be a problem. I might have to speed run some of these because even though these are two more episodes, technically.
Yeah.
The change with them isn't so much the episodes themselves, so much that the anime made them into multi-parters of a larger story.
Yeah, you mentioned that, which worries me because Ranma is like a gag comedy bit, and the most important part of a joke is pacing.
So, you know what? Let's go through this a bit quickly because these are technically 7 episodes I now have to recap, but like, I'm not going to be as thorough because they're parts of larger stories.
Okay.
So, let's take the Japanese Nanichuan story, for example. The anime adapts this completely faithfully until the last, like, 10 seconds.
Really? Okay.
Because in the original manga version, the setup is Ryoga found a map that allegedly leads to what appears to be a spring of drowned man. Like, the map comes with a legend, and I love this legend of, like, there were these mischievous foxes attacking a village, and then a mysterious man from the east came, and then he poured this magic water, and from it arose a spring, and then he lured the foxes into the spring, and they turned into men. And from that point onwards, the village was never attacked by evil foxes. Instead, they were attacked by evil men.
Attacked by evil men. I love that bit.
But they hear the legend, it's like, that sounds like a Jusenkyo spring. Did somebody make a Jusenkyo spring in Japan? What is this? Let's go investigate. And they find out that apparently the school was built on top of whatever this spring used to be. And it just so happens that in order to get to it, you have to go into the girls' locker room and start digging from there. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. And at the same time, Akane, finally fed up with Hapasai's nonsense, creates like a Maginot line of defenses around the girls' locker room at the same time. Completely understandably.
Yeah, yes. There is like a joke of like Ranma sees Akane setting up these defenses. He's like, don't worry, she can't be there all day, right? And it cut to like Happosai watching TV at home. It's like, Master, weren't you gonna go like creep on the teenage girls? Like, yeah, in a bit later. Like the one time Ranma wants Happosai to show up and be a creep to distract Akane, and he's just like, there's no rush.
Yeah, like his shows are on, and Ryoga is he's kind of caught up in the middle of all this.
Yes.
And they both decide the way in is to get in by transforming, and it does not go well.
Yes, they don't even mention the possibility of just waiting until everyone goes home.
Yeah, they could just go at night.
They have to go in there now while the girls are changing.
Absolutely. Like, neither of these boys has an ounce of patience in their body.
But yes, real quick, this is maybe like one of the like most like homoerotic moments between Ranma and Ryoga, because like just so much stuff goes on. This is like one of the first ones where Ranma tries to trick Ryoga by just disguising himself. And it's like, well, this girl with glasses that looks like Ranma, but Ranma doesn't wear glasses. She's coming on to me pretty hard. Like Ranma's putting on the girls' bloomers, and like just Ryoga's reactions is just like, yeah, we know Ryoga thinks Ranma's hot.
The best part about it is Ranma had legitimately no reason to do that. He just immediately like wraps his arms around him and is like, "Oh my god, Ryoga, you're so hot." Out of nowhere for no reason.
Yeah, he just decided this is the best way to do this. I mean, it works. He was correct, but
yeah,
there's also like, because at some point Ryoga, because he's an idiot, gets convinced to start working for Akane and is preventing Ranma from doing the thing that Ryoga wants to do. And like, there is a joke where like Ranma sneaks in and then this a whole bunch of underwear falls on top of him so Ryoga can be like, aha, caught you red-handed. And I'm like, did Ryoga steal a bunch of underwear just to trap Ranma? Like, where did he get those from?
Yeah, and it's like, did Ranma just accidentally stumble into Hapasai's stash? Like, what happened here?
Eventually we get a pretty, like, funny joke where, like, after enough Looney Tunes shenanigans, Akane is just like, Ranma, here, take them. Just promise that you'll get help, okay, Ranma? I understand this is an addiction and you can't help yourself, but you need to overcome it, Ranma. You need to stop. Don't be like Happosai.
She's so supportive, like
she's genuinely concerned that Ranma is trying so hard to get into the girls' locker room. He has never been this determined before.
And it's great, too, because it immediately smash cuts to him having explained it and her being like, oh, well, why didn't you just say that from the start? Like, it just never occurred to the boys that maybe they could just explain the situation. It's so good.
But eventually, Ranma punches the ground. They break a water main because they think they found the spring. But then the janitor is like, all right, who broke the water main? I don't think it was in the manga version, but I believe the anime version, the janitor, like, hears it's Ranma. He's like, God damn it, that kid again. It's all these, like, martial arts fights at the school have caused enough damage for the janitor to know who he is.
Yeah. You have to assume Ranma insurance is a thing in this universe.
Uh, then it turns out it wasn't the spring. They instead find a sign. That's basically like, thank you for your patronage. The spring is out of service, but don't worry, the original spring is still in China if you want to go. This is, and it's like, what? But not in the anime version.
Oh, really?
In the anime version, instead, they find a mysterious urn. And it's just like, to be continued. And this is the first part of a trilogy, a 3-parter.
Oh, holy shit. Okay, so they go hard in there. All right.
So, one thing I will note, in the manga, they never explain where Ryoga got this map from. He just found it, I guess, while traveling. But the anime version, the second episode begins, they take the map and the urn to Cologne to be like, can you explain what this is? Because we got this far, we don't know what's happening. And turns out, they confirm Ryoga found it at some ancient temple. But turns out there are specific instructions according to the urn. There are 3 urns. You need to bring them to a specific location, and then the urns magically generate the water for the springs. And so now they got one of them. And using the urn and the map, they now get to go on a national treasure adventure to get the other 2. and because they're at Cologne's, Moose and Shampoo find out, and they join. And I will point out, Moose is in duck form for like 95% of these next 2 episodes.
Oh, God.
It's kind of interesting. He doesn't seem to be in any particular rush to change back. He acts kind of like first Shampoo's and then later Akane's like messenger falcon. Like they just send him out to do stuff and fly around. At one point, Ryoga is Peachon and he jumps on Duck Moose and they do this little like duck pig team up attack. And it's like, oh, okay. Duck Moose getting some action here.
I wonder if he stays in duck form because they just couldn't get the voice actor in the office.
Well, the voice actor's the one doing the quacks, but
true.
I don't know, those could be from previous episodes. But like, yeah, there's moments like that. There's one part where like, Shampoo sends Duck Moose to do stuff and then he flies back and she's petting him. She's being very sweet like you would to a pet. She's like, good boy. And then she tosses him to the ground and it's like, anyways. And then later, like, they abandon Moose, or rather, Ranma and Shampoo just ditch Moose and Ryoga because too bad I'm getting those urns as Shampoo's helping Ranma. But then Akane finds Peachon and Duck Moose and is just carrying them and follows Ranma and Shampoo. And now we get like most of the episode, Akane is just carrying Peachon and Moose. She doesn't have to. She knows Moose could just turn back into a human, but she's still carrying him. She's very polite as they try and get the urn, which it turns out is at the Kuno mansion.
Of course it is.
It's in their antique collection. And like, this episode is so much fun. It is just complete nonsense shenanigans. Like, Tatewaki Kuno hears there are intruders and is like, Sasuke, go deal with them. And like Sasuke the ninja gets to be an actual antagonist. He keeps setting up these traps that actually work and get in the way as like Ranma and Shampoo have to go through this like Mega Man stage. And then meanwhile, Akane tries to sneak in and bumps into Kodachi, and Kodachi's like, Ranma's here? I have to find him. And just, there are so many moving pieces as all the different characters keep like bumping into each other, setting off traps for each other, chasing each other, running away from each other. It is like so much back and forth. And like, we see so many dynamics that we rarely get to see.
Yeah.
Because think of how many things I have described that's like, wait, so Shampoo's petting Moose? Like he's her pet and is being affectionate, but only as a duck, and then she immediately forgets about him? Wait, so Akane is also being very affectionate towards Duck Moose, and then Duck Moose and Ryoga and Peachon form do stuff, and also Sasuke does things? Like, there's so much of this is like, we never see them get to do this.
Yeah, like, that sounds like so much fun.
And like, by the end of it, like, literally, they all crash into Tatawaki's private spa, and it's like, there's the urn! Got it! And they're all running.
Oh my god.
And like, that's just it. Just like, got it, run! Let's go! They just robbed the Kuno family. And then, like, the ending is they get out, but they lose the urn. It goes flying. And then Hopplesci finds it. He's like, ooh, free urn. I'll take this. And it's like, no. And they start chasing him. And once again, it's like, to be continued.
Oh my god, that does sound like fun. You had me at a National Treasure-esque adventure where like all of the side characters who don't get much screen time get a chance. Like I'm so here for that.
Yeah. I really appreciate this episode because it is so common for us to get what I've referred to as the rival roundups, where it's like everyone is here, but they kind of all function as a collective bunch.
Yeah.
Whereas here we get to see their dynamics with each other. The third episode is also when they reveal everything to the family, so now we get moments where like Nabiki gets to comment on this. And like Nabiki gets in a fun line where she seems to be the only one who recognizes like, guys, this is like the 5th time Ranma thinks he found a way to cure his curse and it never works out. Does nobody pay attention to the show?
If everybody paid attention to Nabiki, they'd have had this solved like season 3.
Yeah, but also she gets a fun line where she's like, it's not like it matters anyways. Like, nobody minds Ranma turning into a girl. I mean, you get more variety for your married life. Isn't that right, Akane? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And Akane's like, what's that supposed to mean? And I'm like, that is like maybe the most blatant joke they ever make about Akane's sexuality.
Yeah.
Just like Nabiki just doing this thing. Like, she never makes jokes like that. At one point, like, Ranma and the other cursed characters go to deliver the urns, and Akane is all tsundere, but eventually she decides to go, and the family's rooting for her, like, go get him, go, help. And Kasumi says, I wrote down the quote, our mother, rest her soul, is rooting for you.
Aww.
And it's just like, they're talking about the dead mom?
Oh my god.
Just like, everyone's being so supportive, like, go Akane, go help Ranma. And it's just like, I will say the third episode feels like they had to cut an episode between these last two. Like, this was going to be a 4-parter and they had to cut it down to 3.
Yeah.
Because they spend like the first 5 minutes trying to get the urn back from Hopplesci. And we even get a thing where like Ranma throws Pichon into the room. And it's like, oh no, Hopplesci, Pichon's here, stop him. And like Pichon steals the underwear while Hopplesci's like, give that back. And like they're doing this to distract him. And it's like, Hopplesci versus Pichon is not a dynamic I expected to see.
Yeah, no kidding.
I didn't expect Hopplesci to like acknowledge, like, damn it, Akane's annoying pet pig is stealing from me. Get someone stop the pig. It's like, it's Pichon, Hopplesci, leave him alone.
Yeah, like it just occurred to me, I had no idea that Hopplesci like didn't realize that Ryoga was Pichon. That's wild.
So many dynamics, and then, like I said, it feels like an episode got cut. Because then it's like, okay, now where's the third one? Hold on. I'm deciphering the map. I'm doing this. All right, follow these coordinates. Let's do it. And then they run around the neighborhood. And then they crash into a building. And Cologne is there. It's like, did you guys forget something? You're like, damn it. It's here. They just dig through the closet and find an urn. And it's like, oh, that's from the trash that was in the building when we rented it. Who would have thought it was right here? They just find the third urn was just right behind them the whole time.
The real urn was the friends we made along the way.
But yeah, now they have to deliver the urn to the special location in the mountains. And again, more dynamics we don't really get to see. We see like Hopplesci is upset that they stole his urn because he was using it to store his underwear collection. It's real pretty. I'm just gonna put it here. It's really, he likes the feng shui of the room. But like now they stole it, so he's trying to stop them. But he recruits the dads. He's making the dads work for him, and they're trying to betray him and keep getting in the way, and goofy nonsense happens as Hopplesci tries to stop the group. And then at one point, Cologne is like, you kids have enough to deal with. I'll take care of him. And then she fights Hopplesci. And then in the middle of that, she's like, behold, secret technique, silver sling. And then she just throws her bra at him. He's like, ooh. And he falls down a cliff. And it's like, there, problem solved.
Oh my god. I have to check these episodes out just because, yeah, like, these are two characters that it feels like are never even in the same room together.
Yes. And like, this third episode is not as fun as the second.
Yeah.
There's less of the interesting things, but the fact that the things we do see are so unique. It's fun.
Yeah.
So all of this, and like, I don't know how to feel about the ending, because the ending is finally the exact same ending as the manga, where they get there, they do the urns, they summon the spring, they jump in, and nothing happens, and then they find the sign. And I don't know if the fact that we spent 2 whole extra episodes just to get to the same punchline makes it better or worse.
Oh, that's definitely got to make it better, right? Like, it's got to build up so much more, you know?
It also, unfortunately, just though, it does sort of feel anticlimactic. They're doing all these fights, they're having to stop Hopplesai, they're having to stop the dads, they're like, we did it, we got there. Oh, it's out, never mind. It's got a different feel.
Yeah. Like, I am always here for, we are going to build this anti-climax up like it's the end of the world. Like, as far as I'm concerned, it would be the funniest thing ever done if the One Piece was the friends we made along the way. I know everyone else on the planet would hate that except for me.
People would be so mad, and that would make it even better.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I would be laughing for a week straight. So I am so here for long con anticlimax jokes. Like,
yeah, that's basically how it ends. Like, all this setup, all this, like, we need to go, all this extra fighting. I don't even remember what happened. I wrote down here Ranma versus Ryoga and Shampoo versus Akane. And I'm like, when did that happen? And it's just like, yeah, it's just characters infighting and arguing as they climb this mountain. And like, nothing happens. But like, that's kind of the point of the episode. So like, I can't hate it, but also it sounds weird when I'm summarizing it. And I'm like, and then they get to the end and then the spring isn't there.
Like, sometimes the best episode of any show are the bottle episodes.
Yeah, this is sort of like that. But I think the second episode is the most like that, and therefore the better of these 2 extra ones. The second one has a bit more of like trying to make an adventure out of it. The Kudo Mansion is a much better setup for these shenanigans than just we are climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
Conceptually, I still appreciate the trilogy as a whole, especially the middle part, and how they chose to expand this into like this one story. Like, who would have read that one manga chapter of Ranma and Ryoga trying to break into the girls' locker room and was like, this would be a great setup for everyone to do like a Mega Man like adventure trying to get the national treasure, steal the urn from the Kudo family.
That I'm so here for it. Like, with the way that Ranma is set up, I feel like, and again, I haven't watched all of the old anime yet, but it feels like goofy comedy slice of life adventures are just kind of immune to the concept of filler. So you might as well just go whole hog with it if you've got something good.
Yeah. But yeah, that ends this little like semi-filler trilogy. And last thing on my notes for this one, Ranma quotes the second season outro as he's all sad. He's like, "Don't buy Lili, boy," and just like sinks into the useless spring.
Oh,
While bubbles come out, just like, oh, he's like legitimately sad. He is the Lili boy.
Oh, poor guy.
But yes, that's that one, and I guess I'll have to pick up the pace even more for this last one, because the last bit of homework I gave you was for the martial arts tea ceremony arc, which was expanded into 4 episodes.
Oh, no.
And it's not even like, it wasn't even a 4-parter. It's just that like the episode ends, and then the tea ceremony people just get added to the list of wacky characters that might show up. These are respectively episodes 93, 97, 130, and 152.
What? So it's like super scattered.
They're not like direct sequels. It's just like, hey, remember that guy from last season? He's back.
Wow, okay. That is weird.
I should also point out, this arc in the manga was very early on. This was like chapter 56 to 58. This would have been in the second season of the remake if they didn't intentionally skip it. So the fact that they didn't adapt it until episode 93 is also something to consider.
That does feel like it's good to know, because like this chapter is, again, I don't necessarily think it was like bad reading it in the manga, but it was just kind of like, it felt like things were just happening. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it was like Akane meets this boy who's riding his horse through town, and then Ranma sees a cat and so goes crazy and then wipes him out. And the boy shows up and he's like, oh, you need to be my bride, because everyone in this universe is like desperate to get married.
Yes.
Because he doesn't want to get with this girl, and he has to learn martial arts tea ceremonying. And then the girl shows up and it turns out she's a monkey. Everything that happens in this arc is just like, I just found myself constantly going, what?
Like, of all the like one-off rivals, like rivals who only appear once in the manga, I think Centauro is by far the weakest. I think there's some filler episode villains who are worse, but of the manga canon ones, this guy is the weakest. And the fact that this is like the second time ever in the manga that we get a one-off character that doesn't permanently join the cast. Like, the first time was the figure skaters.
Yeah. Oh, they're super fun. I love the figure skater couple.
But this Centauro and the tea ceremony thing, this is like the second time this happened, where we get a villain of the week who does not become a permanent fixture of the cast. And the fact that, like, this early on, we already get someone who is just, Centauro is just nothing.
Yeah. He doesn't even want to be there. It feels like at any point, if Ranma or Akane had just walked up and walked out the door, he would have just been like, oh man.
Yeah, as you explained, the setup is his grandmother served an arranged marriage with him against some girl, and he doesn't want to marry her because then it turns out she's a monkey. But then at the end of the arc, it's revealed that the actual girl just sent a picture of the monkey to fight in her place because she was too embarrassed. And they're like, more embarrassing than sending a monkey?
Yeah. It feels like deadlines were really coming up and Rumiko Takahashi just had to get it out.
So, like, some things of note. One, Ranma gets roofied. Centauro literally kidnaps Ranma. Which does result in a very fun thing where, like, Akane sees Ranma being kidnapped and immediately springs into action.
Yeah, that's true.
She's immediately ready for blood. And like they don't even explain how she tracked down Centauro. Like, she finds a little like tea ceremony ladle, but like it's not like she has Google. Did she just search the entire town for every tea ceremony place until she found the right one? Like, she eventually finds them, but like, no, Akane just goes to rescue Ranma, and by the time she gets there, it's like, okay, so Centauro needed a girl to challenge his arranged bride in martial arts tea ceremony, and so he's getting Ranma to do it, and like, they even did a joke where Ranma's just like, Centauro is explaining this to him while Ranma's just heating up the tea and then pours it on himself. And he's like, yeah, about that, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. This is like some of the best communication Ranma has ever had. Like, he just breaks it down immediately.
Yes. And like, the only reason Ranma even stays is because the grandma like eggs him on. Because she's like, this girl, she's not good enough. And Ranma is, oh yeah, I'm the best. There's no way I'll lose. I'll defeat you. And she's like, well, if you want to marry my grandson that much, who am I to stop you? It's like, wait. No, wait.
Yeah. Like, she's just like, I knew this hussy was up to no good, and Ranma's just like, this hussy is up to the greatest good. You don't know. Like, it's purely for pride, and the guy is just like the guy who instigated the whole thing is just sort of along for the ride.
Yes. And like Ranma now has to train in the art of martial arts tea ceremony. Eventually the monkey shows up and like I will point out Ranma doesn't even defeat the monkey.
Oh, yeah. It just stops.
The fight just gets interrupted as the actual bride shows up. Her name is Satsuki, and like it's just like, no, stop fighting. Let's clear up this wacky misunderstanding. Oh, well, that was crazy. Wah wah. And then the story
Yeah.
ends. Because again, even in universe, the characters are just like, why did you send a monkey?
Yeah, like.
But yeah, so the anime made a couple changes to this first episode. Basically, they streamlined it significantly. There is no monkey, and instead of fighting the bride-to-be, Rama has to fight the grandma. The grandma is just the antagonist the entire episode. You have to defeat me. And it's, oh, that makes things so much simpler.
Yeah, that cuts out so much unnecessary, like, what?
So in that version, Satsuki doesn't appear at all. And instead, it ends with Sentaro, because the whole thing is Sentaro, once he finds out Ranma's a boy, immediately moves on to Akane and just starts hitting on her. And just,
Yeah.
again, he's just kind of there. In the manga, Akane just like punches him and he goes blasting off again. And then he's just there at the end. In the anime version, Akane punches him, launches him into the mansion, and the whole thing gets destroyed.
Naturally.
And like, Ranma's all beat up, he is exhausted, and the old lady, the nameless grandmother, they never give her a name, but she's just like, I like you. You're good. This has been so much fun. You will make an excellent heir to the School of Martial Arts tea ceremony. I hope you look forward to seeing more from me. And then Rama's like, oh, brother. And like the episode just ends with the implication of, hey, these characters have just been added to the roster. And they appear 3 more times. And it's like, okay.
You know, fair enough. Like, I mean, honestly, just cutting out the whole weird, like, monkey arc feels like it kind of just fixes a lot of that. Like,
if it was just this one episode, I feel fixes things.
Yeah.
Except the problem is they kind of, like, they fix the characters so that they can be brought back as regulars, but pretty much every other episode they're in is kind of terrible.
Oh, no.
And in addition to that, the entire, like, the ending is implying that, like, oh, Centaro's grandma is like, this Ranma girl will make a great bride for my grandson. I am not giving up on her. We'll be back. And that never gets followed up on. None of the remaining 3 episodes that these characters appear in involve any attempts to get Ranma to marry Sentaro. So that dynamic, which sounds like a premise for some interesting filler to happen, never happens.
Oh, that is rough. On the other hand, I can completely understand, like, if you just don't have a good idea for these characters to come back, you also just don't have to. And, like, as I'm saying all this, I'm like, the idea of, like, okay, Ranma has to fight a monkey, that is kind of funny on its own. It feels like that should just be its own arc.
Yes. The fact that it got attached to this tea ceremony thing just makes it confusing more than anything.
Like, if the lady sent a picture of the monkey, right? Does that mean she figured out how to teach a monkey how to do the tea ceremony?
It is literally doing martial arts tea ceremony against Ranma,
Yeah,
so
it's like,
it is a specific fighting style.
yeah, like the way more interesting story is, how did she teach that to a monkey? Like, I want to see that.
But yeah, so the other 3 episodes aren't important, and like I said, they're not especially great, but really, really quick what you're missing out on. So their second appearance, which is 4 episodes later. So, like, they clearly planned to bring them back right away. But second episode, I will point out, anytime, like, one-off characters come back for a filler episode, they have to do, like, the Poochie greeting of, like, look, Ranma, it's that character. You look like you have something to say. Do you? Like, welcome back, person who has not appeared since last season. You know, which is fair.
Yeah.
Already, Sentaro has failed because every time he comes back, Ranma is like, oh god, it's him again. I'm not here. Nobody likes Sentaro.
Poor guy. And like the whole thing in the manga with him is like every sentence he's calling himself like the lowly one or the disgusting one or something. And so it's like, brother, get therapy, man. Like, what's going on with you, dog?
Yeah. And you know what? That is also an interesting angle to explore that the anime filler does not. He is just kind of this guy who shows up. He will hit on Akane sometimes. He is sad and pathetic and is just not very good. And that's kind of it. That's his whole character.
Yeah.
But like, first of the 3 filler episodes with him, there's this really weird concept that I assume makes more sense in Japanese, because there's some weird wordplay going on, where the grandmother announces to all the members of the School of Martial Arts tea ceremony that she's going to take a stand or something, and everyone acts like she is stepping down or planning to retire the School of Martial Arts. And it's also that they can do a twist that, like, no, she means literally stand up because she's always sitting and it's killing her back and she needs someone to give her a back massage.
Oh my god.
They literally, like, Sentaro brings Akane and Ranma back to their mansion because I need your help. You two are my best friends. Like, we're your best friends? Oh, I need your help from my best friends. My grandmother's in danger.
Oh.
And then he brings them over, and this trio of old ladies who are on screen for like 10 seconds, but the third and fourth episode in this series treat them like super important characters.
Oh my god.
This trio of old ladies is like, good job, Sentaro. Now we can offer one of these 2 girls as a sacrifice. And he's like, I'm sorry, what? Just, we read about it in this note. See, this isn't the first time that a matriarch attempted to take a stand, and terrible things will happen, but they managed to stop it. They literally quote, maidens were presented.
What?
Because again, the twist ending is that, like, she just wants a massage. And Sentaro assumes that they're literally gonna kill one of these girls. So he, of course, offers Ranma.
What a dickhead.
Ranma gets roofied a second time.
Oh my god. This guy is like... That guy needs to be watched. That is too many roofie incidences.
Second roofie, also second instance of Akane getting pissed off and wanting to rescue Ranma. She is ready to throw down against like a room full of like 20 people, but it turns out she also got roofied and passes out. And then when she wakes up, Sentaro's like, no, Akane, you can't fight them. I spared you, but we just need to let this happen. And Akane's like, no way, you're not stopping me. And this is maybe the biggest reason why I say this episode is bad. Because Akane sees Ranma in danger and vows to rescue him. So like the whole second half becomes an Akane episode. She's got to save Ranma. That's her girl. She's got to go get that. Akane does not fight a single person in this episode.
Oh my god.
Sentaro gets her way like 3 times, and then eventually he just gives up and lets her borrow his horse, and then she just charges through with the horse. And then she gets there, and Akane's like, Ranma's like, oh hey Akane, what's up? And he's just giving the massage. It's like, oh, I knew it. I knew you were just the right person, Ranma. You're so strong. You are a pure maiden, but also fierce. A fierce martial artist. You will fix my back. And that's the ending. Just like, oh, this was all a wacky misunderstanding. And Sentaro sucks. That's the ending.
Is it weird that, like, in my mind, I'm like, they could fix Sentaro by making him, like, suck worse?
Yes!
Like, it's the fact that he sucks, but then he gives up halfway through his scheme and just leaves.
Yes. Yes. To
Like,
me, that's the worst part.
it's like he sucks, but he doesn't even care about whatever awful thing he's doing. Like, if he was more pathetic, that would be kind of funny in a messed up way. If he was more evil,
Yeah.
that would be more interesting.
The proper final scene in that episode is the grandma being like, Ranma, you did great. Akane, you crashed through my strongest warriors. You're also great. Sentaro, you suck. We're gonna need to train you harder. And it's like, oh no! And then he goes through like hell training with his grandma, and that's the ending. I should also point out Akane did destroy the mansion a second time with the horse. So that's 2 mansions down.
At a certain point, they're just gonna stop getting the horses.
Yes. But the third appearance of these characters is where it gets even worse, because that episode tries to give him an arc, and then once again he just kind of gives up partway through.
Yeah.
Because the premise of the third episode is the grandma gets kidnapped, and this is when we find out that, like, a long time ago, the School of Martial Arts tea ceremony was just one big clan, but there was a schism, and some people deserted and formed their own dark martial arts tea ceremony group. And we spend like 5 whole minutes at the start of the episode of Sentaro being like, guys, my friends, I need your help. And Rama and Akane are just like, no. And just like 5 whole minutes of Sentaro trying to convince them to help him.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Followed by like another 5 minutes of the old ladies who are suddenly treated as important showing up to give exposition. And there is admittedly a very funny visual where, like, it's like the next day and Rama and Akane are walking home from school, and this little old lady in a kimono just comes crashing through a brick wall at like super fast speeds.
Yeah.
Having been defeated. And it's just like, oh, I guess it wasn't a trick. There actually is an evil martial arts tea ceremony group. Just like, well, back to the drawing board. So it's like halfway through the episode before they finally are like, well, now let's actually rescue the grandma. The opening scene is the grandma getting kidnapped, and they spend half the episode just deciding to go rescue her.
That's awesome. Words cannot express how much I wish the evil tea ceremony people are martial arts baristas.
It is funnier in concept. I feel their delivery of the punchline is a bit weak, but basically, once they confirm, oh wait, the grandma really is kidnapped, we then get like a little like dress up montage, Sentaro putting on his finest, kimono. He gets his tea ceremony tools, and he's walking dramatically down the streets. And this time, Rama and Akane are like, hey, we're coming with you. Now that you've manned up and you're doing it for real, we're actually going to help you this time. And then Sentaro proceeds to do nothing for the rest of the episode.
Oh.
They get there, and it's like, there's another trio of old ladies, and Rama's like, leave them to me. Leave Jiren to me. You two go on ahead. And like, Rama's like, I fought enough of you tea ceremony people. I know your weakness. You can't stand. And then the old ladies stand up, and he's like, you're not allowed to do that. Like, we're from the unorthodox school of martial arts tea ceremony. We do not follow tradition. We evolve and grow because that is true martial arts. We aren't living in the past. We are modern. We serve tea standing up. It's like, oh no!
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yes, but it then results in Ranma just running around, avoiding these old ladies attacking him, while Akane is trying to escort Sentaro to the end. But again, midway through, Sentaro just kind of gives up and starts hitting on Akane and suggests they just run away and elope together. And she's like, oh, for crying out, and then she punches him through the mansion and destroys it a third time.
Hell yeah.
Literally, just like, for crying out loud, just throw him to the finish line so we can finish the episode. And then it's revealed that the grandma was kidnapped because the other matriarch wants to patch things up. We want to join forces, but we need to decide who will be the next ruler of the clan. So I will have my grandchild fight yours to see who it is. And Centaro's grandma is like, fine, I will wait here and he will come rescue me and then he will show his true potential. And and he shows up and it's like, God damn it, Centauro. You had one job. But then we get the ending where the other grandchild is revealed and it's Satsuki from the manga.
Oh.
In this version, she's the grandchild of the dark tea ceremony people. And instead of fighting, Centauro's like, wow, she's hot. And they just look at each other and blush. And Satsuki doesn't even have any lines. She just blushes and they're like, it is settled. We will not fight. We will marry each other and we will unite the two clans.
Oh.
All is well. Yeah.
Oh.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah. She didn't have much characterization, but her being too embarrassed to send a picture of herself, so she sent a picture of a monkey instead, and then feeling so embarrassed about it that she had to train the monkey to do martial arts tea ceremony was a pretty
There's a character in there.
Yeah. Like, that would be a fun character to explore, and it's kind of a shame that, like if he's completely pathetic and she's just like a social anxiety wreck, that would be a power couple.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we don't get that because the anime version, so in this episode, she has no lines. And then the next episode, it's a recurring gag that, like, you see her lips move just barely, and and no one hears her except for Kasumi.
Aww.
Because in the fourth episode, they bring the whole family to the mansion, and, like, Kasumi's there, and, like, she's the only one that can actually hear Satsuki. So clearly Kasumi, in line with martial arts tea ceremony, she is secretly the best martial arts tea ceremony practitioner out there if she can completely floor these other people and understand them immediately.
Yeah, but then Kasumi would have to engage in not being proper for even half a second, so...
But anyways, fourth episode, I feel like maybe someone made the criticism of, like, nobody even gets to fight in these episodes. First one, like, again, Rama never defeats the monkey. In the anime version, he doesn't defeat the grandma. Both versions, the fight gets interrupted. Second one, Akane doesn't fight anyone. Third one kind of fights the old ladies, but then they stand up, so he's, like, freaking out and dodging their attacks, and then Akane interrupts the fight again. So this fourth one is like, okay, fine, you guys want fights? Let's give you fights. Except it's all fights between the old ladies. It's just the old ladies fighting each other the whole episode.
I'm here for it. Golden Girls ruled.
But yeah, the plot of the fourth one is Centauro and Satsuki are now engaged. They're going to have a wedding ceremony, and it is customary for the clan that they serve tea at the wedding using a special ceremonial golden tea set. And you can imagine that Nabiki perks up as soon as she hears there is a tea set made out of solid gold.
Naturally.
But anyways, somebody does not approve of this marriage, and they received a threatening letter saying that they will steal the golden tea set to make sure this wedding doesn't happen. So they have to recruit Ranma and Akane and the whole Tendo Dojo to help out and defend against this mysterious thief who shows up in a mask and stuff. And that's kind of the whole episode, is just, again, it's fighting, but it's mostly the old Pete characters fighting each other while Rama and Akane are just standing there waiting for their turn. There is one joke where the thief makes it to the top, and Ranma's like, haha, you didn't know, but I moved the tea set without telling anyone. Now no one can find it. And then it's just revealed that Ranma just tossed it onto the roof. But, like, yeah, it's just them fighting. Once again, the thief gets to the roof, and it looks like Centauro is going to fight the thief. He is waiting there with the tea set. He's like, your last opponent is me. Now is my chance to prove myself. And then the thief just takes one step towards him, and he's like, ah! That's his
Yeah.
character, I guess. He's just sad and pathetic. He can't do anything. And in the end, it's revealed the thief was Satsuki's grandma, but because she's an old lady, she was on these little, like, pairs of stilts the whole time.
That's wild.
And the whole thing was actually just a test for Sentaro and Satsuki to make sure that they have what it takes to lead the clan together. And they're like, Satsuki passed with flying colors. Good job, Satsuki. Sentaro, you suck. You failed. Clearly, we are not ready to have this wedding ceremony, so you're going to need to do more training. More training montages. And this time, we're going to train under both clans. And that's the last we see of that character.
Just trapped in the training room forever.
So yes, the anime version decided to change the ending and simplify things so as to add Sentaro and his grandma to the roster. And this is what we got. And yeah, I did not enjoy any of those episodes. There are maybe some fun ideas in there, like when the old ladies stand up. But again, I feel like the delivery of the punchline left a lot to be desired. And I think the funniest thing out of all of this is that currently, in the lead up to the third season of the Ranma 1/2 remake, they are teasing these tea ceremony characters so hard.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're doing the thing they did for season 2, where it's like, look at all these new characters that you can look forward to next season. Except this time, it's like, 4 of these characters are from the one episode with the tea ceremony, and they never come back. And it's just kind of funny that, like, there's still a problem. They're still kind of getting in the way of, like, these guys suck. We're gonna do the monkey thing? The monkey is in the trailers as presented as one of the new characters.
Oh, God. Okay. I'm like, because, like, the one thing that I was like, they could just scrap the monkey plot and just have a different episode where Ranma fights a monkey. That would probably just make that whole bit flow better. But I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, part of me is just like, I'm just excited to see, like, how are they gonna tackle this kind of a mess of, like...
I hope the people who insisted, like, well, this version's gonna be better because it's not gonna do any filler, like, what will those people think about this season? As we get to this episode.
We get to perhaps the most filler of the filler. Like, I'm excited. Could you imagine if they decide to bring those characters back? Like, they get rid of all the other filler, but they're like, no. Let's bring back the loser guy and the monkey girl. Those are...
Of all the filler to make canon, they chose this one.
Yeah. Like, oh, that would be so good.
Well, we got there in the end.
Yeah.
And now we have an idea of all the many different ways that you can expand upon the manga storyline. And some of those methods are better than others, but
Yeah.
Now we know there's variety.
Oh yeah. It's sometimes you do it by adding, sometimes you could do it by taking away, and sometimes you just write an entirely different story altogether.
If they brought back Kaori, that would have been funny. Just to like bring her back, but also keep Ukyo around just to see what would happen.
I would desperately love for like Kaori and Ukyo are just like twins separated at birth or something. Like that would be so fun to see. Or just have them set up like little restaurants next to each other. There's so many ways you could take that.
Oh boy. Well, I think the takeaway with this, there are a lot of ways, a lot of directions you can take stories in. Sometimes the same story can just branch into two completely different things. Or sometimes they can branch into two things that are 90% identical, but the 10% goes a long way. There's so many different ways to adapt. And I find them all fascinating, even the terrible ones.
Yeah. Like even if it doesn't work, you still get to take a look at it and kind of dissect it.
You can dissect it and see like what parts of the manga worked and what didn't. And be like, I think Sentaro was kind of a weak character to start with, and the anime failed to fix him, rather than them ruining a character.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm so excited to see, like, okay, when we get to the ridiculous monkey arc, are they going to be able to do to that what the old anime did to, like, the old man and the peach blossoms?
Yeah,
Like,
or hell, what the old anime did to the first tea ceremony episode. Because again, that first episode, I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine. My biggest problem is that it goes out of its way to set up a new dynamic that never gets followed up on. But like by itself, the fact that we remove the weird, confusing monkey thing and it's just Ranma fighting the grandma, it's much more straightforward. That is an improvement. It takes a weak story and turns it into an okay one.
yeah. And, like, it's one of those things that they don't really change much. Like, the overall structure is perfectly fine. It's all in the telling.
Yeah. And I think though that is the biggest reason I don't like things being completely faithful, because so many people when they think of filler, they think of just like, well, this isn't canon, we shouldn't pay attention to it. And I'm like, well, it's all equally fictional. None of it is real. Canon isn't real. But also, like, yeah, the way you present the exact same story can be completely differently in how you direct it.
Yeah.
We've had discussions on the podcast before about this, that like even if you make something one to one, the mere act of adaptation changes something, and you need to know what you're doing if you want to make the most of that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's it's one of those things that kind of shows that good or bad storytelling lives on a knife edge, right? Of like
Yeah.
sometimes adding a sentence or deleting a sentence is the difference between mediocre and great.
Yeah, sometimes just changing the expression that Ranma makes while delivering a line is all it takes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It isn't even necessarily like what's written. It could also just be like pacing. Like with the, martial arts food delivery race. You could really improve that one by just cutting like half of the fight scenes.
Yeah, that's part of why I prefer the anime version, is because the manga version is just fight shenanigans. And they're fun, but like I would like some more substance to them. And like the anime version gave more substance but also had less interesting fight stuff, and it removes a lot of it, but it's doing something different. And I appreciate that. It understands what worked with this and took those pieces and then made a new plot around it rather than adapting it. And again, I don't know the exact reasons for why, but like, yeah, it really goes to show how much you can change while keeping as much things the same.
Oh yeah. And I don't know, it does make me really interested to see where they're gonna go with season 3 of the remake, just to see like what are they gonna actually like do to fix it? Or are they just gonna go like because now a part of me is like, oh, okay, so just if they just do it verbatim exactly as it is in the manga, is that just them giving up on trying to fix it?
Yeah. Again, the second season of the remake was more willing to make changes. And also, we're getting to the point of the manga where we're getting more shorter episodic stories. So, like, we're getting to the parts where the classic anime had to change things because this story was one chapter long. It doesn't fit a 22-minute episode. We have to make something different. So what's the remake going to do when they get to those storylines? Are they just going to skip them? They skip some of them, but now they're doubling back to redo some of them, like the tea ceremony thing.
Yeah, and it's so fascinating. Like I don't know, the future is bright for Ranma. I'm excited for season 3 of the remake. I want to see some of this stuff. I want to see some of this stuff like remade and
Yeah.
not necessarily to see the same story, but just to see what they do to it.
I want to be able to compare three different versions of the same story instead of just two.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's those stories. And I hope you enjoyed. learning about them.
Yeah, it was good times. I'm excited to read and or watch some of the ones I didn't get a chance to get around to. Well, I guess watch, because
Yeah.
I did read the manual chapters, but sorry, the manga chapters. Ooh, you can tell it's getting late.
Yes, but yeah, that's good. Again, I try not to assign too much, but like, yeah, this was a chunky list of stuff, and I gave you options in the hopes that like, please, I was hoping you wouldn't come back and say that you consumed all of it, and for me to be like, oh man, I'm giving you way too much work, but like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad of the parts, the versions you did check out. You at least enjoyed what you saw there. And yeah, this has been a good talk. I hope I can provide you with more interesting things to check out in the future then if you had so much fun. And yeah, this has been a great discussion. I hope everyone at home also enjoyed learning these. So good night everyone. Good night.
Good night. Sleep tight.
Okay, you know what? I don't really like how we did that. Can we just do that like another time? But this time, can we change some of things up a little bit?
Yeah.
Hold on, this one part in the middle. Do you mind if we record like 3 more things? Just turn this into a trilogy?
Yeah, in fact, what if we just like replace me with like another different guest randomly just for the outro? How's that sound?
Yes, I think we can do.
I'll do a voice.
Yeah. You'll still voice that character, but it'll be a different character.
Yeah,
that'll be good. We can have a different dynamic with this fake second guest. All right, we're on to something. Okay, so let's start recording the next episode right now.
I can't lie. I just realized we had actually had to do a remake of this episode because of the Audacity problem.